What we're going to talk about today is 5 of the top things that Medicare does not cover. So when I go through these live casts and like try to figure out what are things that I can speak about, what I do is I go through and I think, what are the questions that our team gets asked so frequently? And of course, every single time I do a presentation for a new client turning 65, well, I won't say every time, but most times, the question becomes well, are there things Medicare does not cover? So what I chose to do today is just pick 5 things. 5 things that Medicare does not cover that you need to make sure that you're aware of, okay? So number 1 we're going to talk about is long-term care. So a lot of times I get people that'll call me and say, well, they're my clients now at 65. Well, my mom is 85 and now she's going into a nursing home. Do you know if her Medicare covered? Oh, I forgot to put my phone on Do Not Disturb. Give me a second. I am sorry. Okay, so the long-term care. So she needs help getting bathed, or she needs help with eating, things like that. She needs fed. She needs to be helped go into the restroom. So now she's going into a custodial long-term care nursing facility. Does Medicare cover that? And the answer is no. I hate to say that, but that's kind of how it works. So the way that it works is, now if you have like a surgery, so let's say you have a hip replaced or a knee replaced, and you need to go to like a skilled nursing facility, you're fine there as long as you're getting better. So as long as you are progressively getting better, you're completely fine because Medicare will cover, and then your supplement or whatever additional insurances you have, as long as you're getting better. But if you regress and it becomes custodial care, unfortunately, Medicare does not cover that. So here's kind of an idea. I thought this was interesting to you. The median cost of a private room in a nursing home is roughly $105,000. Of course, that was in 2020. So the cost is continually going up. So just know that Medicare is not going to cover long-term care facility, long-term care in a nursing home. So that is one thing that you definitely want to take a look at and make sure that you have something set up to where if you have to go into a long-term care facility, that you do understand that your Medicare is not going to cover that. Now, if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat and I will try to answer those questions as we go. Okay. The second thing that Medicare does not cover is dental. So that's a question I get quite frequently is, hey, Suzanne, does Medicare cover dental insurance? I have dental insurance through work. Now I am, retired. I don't have any dental insurance. Does Medicare cover dental, especially root canals or crowns or implants? Unfortunately, Medicare does not cover dental. So there's ways that we can help you with the dental, such as with some Medicare Advantage plans, there is some added benefits to where you do have some dental coverages. We do sell a separate dental and vision policy that you can buy. It's completely separate. It's regular dental insurance. Or a lot of my clients, when they come to me, they have a health savings account where they've contributed to that health savings account for, several years while working. If you have funds in that health savings account or your HSA, you can use those funds for dental work. So your, co-pays for fillings, extractions, root canals, things like that. So unfortunately, though, Medicare itself does not cover dental insurance. Now, with the fresh bennies, remember that there is a dental discount here on the back of it. So your dentist may take, not always, but your dentist may take that discount card and give you a discount. But remember, that's only a discount. That is not insurance. Okay, so the third one that we're going to talk about today is, does Medicare cover cosmetic surgeries? Now, this is something I get, I definitely get questioned about this. So Medicare really doesn't cover cosmetic surgeries. unless there's maybe a medical condition behind it. So like, let's say that you were severely burnt, then Medicare may cover reconstructive for, that burned area. Or let's say you were in maybe a very bad car accident where you have issues that you need to have cosmetically corrected from that car accident. Surgery for therapeutic. So sometimes, for example, like I had a client call me a while back, and she said to me, Suzanne, unfortunately, I had breast cancer. I had a mastectomy. I wanted to know if there's any cosmetic surgery to get that corrected. And because of it being a medical illness, that cosmetic surgery was was covered. Now, what I'll tell you, I always recommend you to talk to your doctor and try to get like some type of pre-certification or pre-approval to where that Medicare is going to cover it prior to you having the procedure done. Okay. So it looks like I have a quick question here. Go ahead. Oh, hang on a second. I guess there's a couple here. Give me 1 second.
Suzanne, I think we had a question about, can HSA funds be used to pay for dental insurance premiums?
For premiums, I don't believe so. You know what? I'll have to get back to you. I'm not sure who asked the question, but I'll double check it real quick. And whoever asked the question, I'll get back to you on the premiums because I don't know about the premiums. But for the co-pays or the actual procedure, yes, you can absolutely do that. Was there another question? I don't think so. Okay, so I'm going to keep going. All right. So number 4, annual physicals. This is when I do get questioned at least 2 or 3 times a month, because here's the way annual physicals work. When you first turn 65, you have a welcome to Medicare annual physical. Okay. Now, a lot of people will call me and say, well, Suzanne, what's the difference between a physical and a wellness visit? So I'm going to show you. So when you first turn 65, you have your welcome to Medicare annual physical, which means for 12 months from the Part A effective date, Medicare will cover an annual physical. But after that 12 months, Medicare does not cover an annual physical. They cover an annual wellness visit. So the question is, well, what's the difference? Well, I figured it out for you. So here's the difference. Now, this is a little bit small. We're going to go ahead and email this to you though, so you have it. So your annual physical, the way it works is you have a 10 to 20 minute consult with the doctor. And then they do a physical exam, height, weight, blood pressure, heart rate, lung health, etc. So once again, as you can see going down that, Medicare Part B does not cover that annual physical if you've went past 12 months of your Part A effective date. Okay. So I had a client call me the other day and he said, hey, Suzanne, I just got a bill for $253. Medicare didn't pay for it. What's going on? So I had him send me a copy of the bill. And sure enough, he had went to the doctor. He was 67 years old and it was a wellness. It was not a wellness visit. It was an actual annual physical, which means Medicare is not going to cover that. So your annual wellness visit, as you can see going down here, you have up to 30 minutes, but it's typically with a nurse practitioner, one-on-one conversation to review health, medicines, activities, daily living, and screenings needed. No copay or deductibles under your Part B. So as you can see, the wellness visit has less things that are done than an annual physical, but Medicare does cover the annual wellness visit each year. So when you're calling your doctor's office to schedule your visit, make sure that you tell them, number 1, you're on Medicare. Number 2, that it needs to be billed as an annual wellness visit, not as an annual physical, because you want Medicare to cover that wellness visit for you. The only exception is if you're within that 12 months from your Part A just starting, and you want to do your welcome to Medicare with that 12 months annual physical. That's your exception. If you're past 12 months, make sure you do it as an annual wellness visit in order for it to be covered. So that was probably one, like I said, I get this call quite often because I think there's a little misunderstanding, a little misconfusion, and I wanted to make sure that we know this. Once again, the client that just sent me the bill the other day was like $253. And he was definitely not planning on paying that bill because he thought he was just going in for an annual wellness, but it was the actual annual physical. And that's why he got stuck paying that bill. All right. Number 5, traveling outside of the US. This is probably one of my favorite things to talk about with Medicare is because I love to travel. So basically the way that it works is once you go outside of the US, Medicare is not going to pay for travel coverage outside of the US. Now, one of the big things is a cruise ship. So I've had clients call me and say, well, I'm going on a cruise ship. I'm leaving from Florida. I'm leaving from California. So I assume my Medicare is going to cover me because I'm leaving from the States. Doesn't work that way. So I'm going to give you exactly how it works. So here's exactly what the way it reads. Medicare usually does not cover when you're traveling outside the US, except for very limited circumstances, such as a cruise ship within 6 hours of the US port. So I know 6 hours, you're getting on that cruise, you're enjoying your going out there and eating, you're enjoying the cruise, welcome to cruise party. You're not realizing the 6 hours goes pretty quick. You get outside the 6 hours, Medicare is not going to cover if there's an issue. So some Medicare Advantage plans do cover emergency. Some of the Medicare supplements cover outside of the US. But here would be my recommendation for every one of you. If you leave the US for travel, you need to give our office a call. So what we'll do is we'll take a look at where you're going, when you're going, how long you're going to be gone, and we'll help you figure out if you need a travel policy just to protect your health. Now, we're not going to put you with some type of insurance that if your flight cancels, you're going to get your money back for that, because that's really not what we're here for. We're here to make sure that you have medical coverage for going outside of the US. So once again, do not take that risk. Unfortunately, I had another broker friend of ours, and he was on the way to his son's wedding outside of the United States. And he was many, many, many hours away. And unfortunately, he had a stroke while he was on the plane. And they finally got him off the plane. They got him to the hospital. He had a stroke. He couldn't talk. He couldn't walk. And unfortunately, he was in a hospital that really several people did not talk English. So he had a very difficult time communicating. And to be honest with you, I don't want to see anybody in that situation, because unfortunately he was there, he was stuck. They tried to get him stable enough to get him back. Thank the good Lord, he recovered. However, with that being said, I don't want to see any of you outside of the US without the travel coverage. So make sure you call our office. Okay. So these are really the top 5 things that I see that people will call us and ask us questions on, that are saying, hey, what's not covered by Medicare? These are the top 5 things that we get questioned on quite often. It looks like we have another question here. Go ahead. Oh, maybe there's not. So looks like there might be a little confusion here on our end. So needless to say, I just want to remind everyone here that we do have a Facebook page. We also have a YouTube channel. I would love for you all to go over to my Facebook page and like our Facebook page, because the more interaction that you have with our Facebook page, when we post, it then becomes in your news feed. So many of you have Facebook, and as you're going through your Facebook, you can see, different pages that you've liked have popped up. Well, the more interaction that you have with a particular Facebook page, then it shows up more often on your news feed. So What we try to do is keep you up to date on other hot topics, or even like just little tidbits that might be helpful to you. We update it on our Facebook page. So go in, like our Facebook page, go over and like our YouTube channel. Anytime we add a new video, you would be notified. And always feel free to contact us. All of you have our phone number, but I'll give it to you again. It's 614-448-1834. That's our office. Don't worry, we'll send it to you again. You'll have it. Don't forget, we're going to follow up with an email with a copy of this presentation with the next, looks like I have the next 4 months. I have the date set and the times. So you won't be getting a last minute, hey, jump on this live cast tomorrow. So we'll give it to you ahead of time, we promise. So I appreciate you all taking the time. If you have any questions, feel free to contact our office. Thanks so much.